Part 1. Imagine this. You're learning a new English word, and instead of simply memorizing its meaning, you picture an image that helps you remember it. You can easily visualize this word in your mind, and with just a glance, the meaning comes to life. This is the power of visual associations, and it's one of the most effective ways to boost your vocabulary retention. When learning a new language, especially English, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of words you need to remember. But what if there was a way to make vocabulary memorization not only easier, but more enjoyable? What if you could harness the power of your mind's eye to remember words in a way that feels natural and intuitive? In today's video, we'll explore how visual associations and memory techniques can help you memorize English vocabulary more effectively. By linking words with images, colors, or even emotions, you can create a mental map that makes recall effortless. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to implement these techniques and make vocabulary learning an enjoyable part of your English journey. Part 2. Let's take a closer look at how visual associations work. The concept is simple. By pairing a word with a clear, memorable image, you create a link in your mind that makes it easier to recall. This technique works because our brains are wired to remember visual information much better than abstract concepts alone. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and when it comes to learning vocabulary, this couldn't be truer. Consider a word like apple. Instead of just memorizing the word and its meaning, you can create a vivid image of a red, shiny apple in your mind. Visualize the texture, color, and even the taste. The stronger the image, the easier it will be to recall the word the next time you see it or need to use it. This technique can be applied to any word you want to learn, whether it's a concrete object, an abstract idea, or a verb. You can take this method even further by connecting multiple words around a central theme. For example, if you are learning food-related vocabulary, you could visualize a whole kitchen scene. Picture fruits, vegetables, drinks, and utensils all in one place. When you create a mental image that's rich in context, it becomes easier to remember the words and how they're used. One popular method is the use of flashcards with pictures, which is especially helpful for beginners. On one side, you write the word, and on the other side, you place an image or a drawing that represents it. The more you practice this method, the more you'll notice how your vocabulary expands and sticks with you. Part 3. Now that we've covered how visual associations can help you memorize vocabulary, let's talk about other memory techniques that complement this approach. One technique that's often used in conjunction with visual associations is the method of loci, or the memory palace. In this technique, you mentally place the words you want to remember in different rooms or areas of a familiar place, such as your house. Imagine walking through your home and encountering each new word in its designated spot. For example, you might imagine the word table sitting on your kitchen table, or book sitting in your bedroom. This method taps into your spatial memory and gives you a vivid, memorable image to associate with each word. Another technique is the use of storytelling. Once you've learned a new word, create a short story or sentence that incorporates the word in a context you can easily relate to. The more personal and engaging the story, the stronger the association. For example, if you're learning the word adventure, imagine a story where you go on an adventure with friends to a distant island. The more details you add to the story, the easier it will be to remember the word and its meaning. Repetition is also key to memory. Spaced repetition, where you review words at increasing intervals over time, can greatly enhance long-term retention. Apps and flashcard systems like Anki use this method to help you memorize vocabulary efficiently. By combining visual associations with these memory techniques, you'll create a multi-layered approach to vocabulary learning that's both effective and enjoyable. It's not just about memorizing words, it's about building lasting connections in your brain that make recall effortless. Part 4. Let's explore how these memory techniques work in real life. Imagine you're having a conversation in English and you need to recall the word for difficult. Thanks to your previous visual associations, you immediately picture a mountain or a steep hill. This mental image allows you to quickly access the word difficult without hesitation. You've created a powerful link between the concept and the image in your mind, making it easier to recall in the future. Many learners who use these techniques report that their vocabulary becomes more natural and intuitive. They stop translating words in their heads, and instead, the words come to them based on the vivid mental images they've created. This leads to more fluid and confident speaking and writing. For example, let's say you're learning the word sunshine. You might visualize a bright, sunny day and imagine how the light and warmth make you feel. This positive, emotional connection to the word helps it stick in your memory. The next time you need to use the word, you won't struggle to find it. You'll have a clear mental image of sunshine that makes it effortless to recall. What's powerful about these techniques is that they allow for continuous learning. Even when you're not actively studying, your brain continues to process these associations, so the words become more deeply ingrained in your memory. Over time, this leads to long-term retention, and your vocabulary expands naturally. Part 5. As we wrap up today's exploration of visual associations and memory techniques, remember this: learning English vocabulary doesn't have to be a tedious or overwhelming process. By using your imagination and connecting words to vivid images, stories, and places in your mind, you can make vocabulary memorization enjoyable and effective. The key is consistency and creativity. The more you engage with the language visually, the stronger the connections you'll form. This approach not only makes learning vocabulary easier, but it also enhances your ability to recall and use words naturally in conversations. So, start today. Choose a few new words, create visual associations, and practice them regularly. You'll notice how quickly your vocabulary grows and how much more confident you become in your ability to use English. With these techniques, vocabulary learning becomes a fun and rewarding journey, one where you're not just memorizing words, but truly understanding and connecting with the language.